Hey guys, today I'm at my sister's house because we're going to be talking about my nephew who had to have open heart surgery when he was just 4 months old. He is thriving now. We want to give you some advice if you're going to be going through a similar thing. This is my beautiful sister Renee. What a goddess. And this is her perfect little boy Iggy. Well, he was born with a broken heart, but now he's perfect. Straight up, I just want to say I'm putting a trigger warning here because there's going to be some photos and videos of Iggy going through this process of surgery. It can be upsetting seeing a little baby with scars. Just make sure you're in the right headspace to see that. We think it's really important to show this stuff before you go through it yourself and for you to see these things before you go through it yourself. But if you don't feel ready, please just wait and make sure that you have a good friend or your partner with you while you're looking at these images. You're so beautiful. No? You won't do anything funny? Boop. Ow. Stop pulling my hair, son. Oh, he loves the camera. Are you gonna have the hiccups for the whole video? Was that a yes? Oh. Is that your baby?
Well, we're just going to give Iggy some solids because he's just started having solids. This one is carrot, apple and sweet potato.
Sounds alright.
He doesn't mind it.
Look at his face. He hates the veggies. He just wants the fruit.
He does.
Oh, poor
Loves
baby.
fruit.
You can probably see Iggy's eyes are a little bit different. What is his eye thing called again?
A coloboma.
A coloboma. So what does that mean?
So it means that his eye didn't fully develop in the womb. So his pupil looks a bit different in that eye. We went to see an ophthalmologist about it, which is an eye specialist, who reassured us that it's just superficial. We're a bit worried because it can impact eyesight anywhere from being completely blind to just being a little bit light sensitive. So, but we were reassured that it doesn't seem to impact his eyesight. So I think it just means that he's going to have one cool eye that's a little bit different.
And what's your nickname for him?
Iggy Y with the cool eye.
Iggy Y with the cool eye. I think when he grows up, he's going to love it. What is that in my face?
Come on, mate. You're usually so good at feeding, huh? Oh, there we go, a little bit.
He's ready. What's his name?
This is Iggy, or, well, his full name is Ignatius, but we call him Iggy.
So I wanted to do this video with Renee because Iggy had some problems when he was born, and it turned out that he had to have heart surgery when he was only 4 months old, and it was such a stressful process for all of our family. I mean, we had the best care that we could have had because we live near Sydney, but yeah, it was just really stressful. And if you're going through something like this, we'd like to give you a bit of advice and some tips. If you think that something might be wrong with your little one, here are some signs that we wish that we could have looked out for. When Iggy was going through his surgery, I was like, you're pretty calm. I mean, obviously it's a stressful time and you can tell that you're stressed out, but how can you be so calm when your baby's having this heart surgery? And like, we know everything's gonna be okay, but it's just such a stressful thing. And she said to me, I do my research and I know exactly what's going to happen. I know exactly what he's going to look like when he comes out of the surgery. I know all of the tubes that are going to be in him, and I just know what to expect so that when I first lay eyes on him after that surgery, my mind won't be blown.
Yeah, so the heart centre that diagnosed Iggy's condition actually sent us a really great booklet that had all the information in it about what the surgery, I guess what the recovery would involve, because we'd already met with the surgeon who gave us a really good run through of what the surgery would involve, and we got to ask lots of questions. And then we got this booklet around what the recovery would be like. So, and it actually had some pictures in there of other babies who had had the surgery and what they would look like when they came into ICU afterwards. So there's lots of tubes and things involved, and I felt that it was really important to prepare myself mentally for that, to see my little bubba like that. So I sort of made sure that I was in the headspace to have a look at that, and I sat down with my husband and we had a bit of a look at the booklet and looked at the pictures, and it was really hard. And I did have a bit of a cry about it, but I think it was important to do that then, rather than being shocked when he did come out from his surgery, and seeing him with all those tubes, I knew that I was going to see that, so I was a bit more prepared and I could be strong for him.
So one of the big signs that one of the doctors caught was Iggys Coloboma. He has, one of his pupils is differently shaped.
When Iggy was a couple of days old and opening his eyes a bit better, we noticed that one of his pupils were different. So basically a coloboma is when the eye hasn't fully developed. And for the ophthalmologist, that was a sign to him that other organs might not have fully developed. So he referred us back to the pediatrician to make sure that all the other organs could be checked out. We went to the pediatrician soon after, and I kind of expected that he was just going to say, yep, everything else is fine, and it would just be kind of a peace of mind thing. But the pediatrician said, I think you better go up to the emergency department to have some further testing. And I said, like right now.
And then once I got to the emergency department, it was basically all hospitals from there on out.
Yeah, so we went to Gosford Hospital, and after sort of being admitted to emergency, we stayed at Gosford Hospital for a week just to make sure we got all the tests done that we needed to, and to have the VSD, so ventricular septal defect, to have that diagnosed.
So that's what it was actually called.
Yeah. So they looked at the heart and they could see that it was bigger. And they also did an ultrasound of the heart, where they could see that there was a hole in the heart between the two lower chambers of the heart, so the pumping chambers. And they diagnosed the VSD. So I guess because the eye wasn't fully developed, they looked further and we found that also the heart wasn't fully developed.
So one thing that Renee really wanted to get out there is, if one organ isn't fully developed, that's a big sign that another organ could be not fully developed. So if there's something wrong with one of your little one's organs, please ask them to do a full check of everything. It took a few months for one of the doctors to be like, no, this could be serious, you need to do a full check. So we just want to get that out there. Just ask them, please check every organ if one of them is not fully developed.
Yeah, he's like fascinated with the camera.
So how common is VSD?
So VSDs are really common. Iggy actually has two cousins with heart murmurs. So the heart murmur was how they found the VSD initially. They could hear a murmur, and that's when we went for the further testing. But VSD, so the hole in the heart, is actually...
I just burped in my face.
Iggy, excuse you. VSDs are actually super common, and a lot of children who have VSDs actually don't have to have heart surgery. This hole in the heart is small enough that the tissue around the hole will actually grow over by itself, and that hole will resolve without surgery. So
Iggy had just had a really large hole in his heart.
Yeah.
So VSDs are so common. A lot of little ones have them, and a lot of them don't need surgery.
See out to it?
Yeah. Aww. Okay, okay. So after the surgery, the recovery was like instant. It's crazy how fast kids recover from these things. It was like a few days and he was a whole new baby. Yay, he's looking. So before his surgery, Iggy was very underweight. He had to have collagen in his bottles to help him put on weight before the surgery. Oh, is that so? And he just had no energy at all. And his recovery after the surgery was pretty much instant. He came out with a lot of tubes and not much energy, and he was pretty sedated, but within a few days all the tubes were out and he had so much energy. He was laughing and smiling constantly and making his little noises, and his little personality was showing through more than it ever had before.
Yeah, he was definitely much happier as soon as he'd recovered after the surgery. He was definitely more content. I actually wish that we had have done it sooner because looking back, I didn't realise how much he was struggling. He had really laboured breathing. It sounded like he was breathing really heavily because of the extra fluid that was sitting on his lungs. Yeah, he was just hungry all the time because his heart was working so far overtime that we couldn't keep him full and we couldn't get him gaining weight.
So now he is thriving. And now he's just going to be Iggy with the cool IOI.
Yeah, he has a normally functioning heart now, which is great. And 2 months post-surgery, he went from pre-surgery being down to the first percentile in weight. And 2 months post-surgery, he was back to like the 47th percentile.
Are you happy, baby? Okay, so we almost forgot to show you his scar. So obviously, if you're going to go through this, your baby's going to have a big scar on his chest, but it's not as bad as you think.
So this is what his scar looks like 3 months post-surgery, and we've been applying a vitamin E sorbeline cream to it every day, and it's looking really good.
You're looking really good, baby. Look at that.
Yeah. So this is the scar from where they've opened his chest, and this is another little scar from where they had a drainage tube when he was recovering. But we're seeing big changes in the scar, and it's actually looking really good, and it's only going to get better and better. So we'll be applying the vitamin E for every day for a year. So I think after a whole year of putting that on, it's going to look amazing. I think it would just be like a tiny white line.
So we're going to sign off now, but I just wanted to say I hope you found this informative. If you're going through this too, I'm really sorry that you have to go through it, but it's going to be okay. And we really hope that we helped you out a little bit. And if you have any more questions at all, or if you just want to chat, go and comment down below and we'll get back to every single comment, and I'll ask Renee for some advice if you need some more advice. So for one last piece of advice, what would you say to other parents who have to go through this process?
I would just say that just make sure you prepare yourself mentally, because it is a really stressful thing to go through, knowing that your little bubba has to have such a big surgery. So just talk to your friends lots and do lots of reading on what to expect, but also just put your trust in the health professionals, because they really are amazing, and just know that babies at this age do recover so well and that it's all going to be fine.
Okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope this was interesting and informative, and I hope to see you next time.
Mama.
Okay, bye.